Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Brian Winkins, and we are at the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. And as we are looking forward to some fun this afternoon with the hog show that is coming up.
Okay, everybody, I'll make this really quick because I know we're not here for me, we're here for some hogs. But my name is Hannah Timberdino, and I'm the 2023 Northern Wisconsin State Fair Fairs to the Fair. To my left here, I have Allie Lehman, who is the 2023 Fairs attendant. I just want to thank everybody for being here, supporting our exhibitors, and I want to hope that everybody has an amazing fair.
We have a fair today, so again, we'll have about 102 pigs here.
Well, good afternoon, folks. I hope you are all doing well today. We're going to start with our swine show, and we're going to start with our ultra lightweight class, or market class number 1. In this market class number 1, we have Taryn Close with two. So you folks should be bringing your pigs on out to the show ring. On deck, we have our market class number 2. So Kennedy Seidling, Tylen Schuler, Casey Nelson, Claire Bull, Gabrielle Sikora, Chloe Schroeder, Kendall Knox, and Abigail Sikora should be getting their hogs. While we're waiting for our hogs to come to the show ring, I would like to take a chance to introduce our judge. Kyle Rosebloom is our judge. He teaches at the University of Minnesota in the Animal Science Department. He coaches the livestock judging team. He lives in Roberts, Wisconsin with his family, and they're very active in the 4-H and FFA where they exhibit beef, sheep, and swine all over the place. Let's give him a round of applause.
And again, we have about 102 hogs this afternoon in our swine show from the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. And throughout the afternoon, we'll be also giving a little trivia as well. And plus, we hope to be able to chance to talk with some of the folks from the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. May notice every now and then the stream kind of flutter a little bit. We are at the new Custer Arena. It's brand new. It's so new that the internet is they're still trying to get some of the bugs worked out. Remember last year at this time, none of this was here. So again, I'm using my phone as a hotspot at the moment, and every now and then it does cut out. But we are going to do the best we can with what we have, and we're pretty excited to be here at the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. Also, I'd like to say a special thank you to the Northern Wisconsin State Fair for having us, along with some of our other sponsors as well that have helped cover some of our expenses, including Alcivia Co-op, Security Financial Bank, Sunstrom & Company, Prime Realty, Adams Super Service, N-Tech, and Dunn Energy. And so again, thank you to those folks as well. We'll be thanking them throughout the day, not only here during the hog show, but also tomorrow during the sheep show that we'll have bright and early at 8 o'clock, and also the beef cattle show tomorrow afternoon at about 1. Then on Thursday, we'll have the dairy show for you. And then Thursday evening, we will have the livestock auction as well. We'll have that on our Facebook page. We'll also have it on our YouTube channel as well at Duran Broadcasting WRDN, and on our website at realcountry1430.com. So again, sit back, relax. We're going to have some fun today with the hogs, as it's there's 102 this afternoon that are showing here from the Custer Coliseum, all part of the new agriculture campus here at the Northern Wisconsin State Fair.
So as this first class gets started, we have pigs from weight from 195 to 225 that will be coming into the ring here shortly. So please take a chance and gander at these.
Again, as they bring the hogs out. And throughout the afternoon as well, we're going to be talking with some of the folks from the Northern Wisconsin State Fair as well about some of the new things here on the fairgrounds.
Class 2, please make your way to the holding pens. Class 2, please make your way to the holding pens. Those in Class 3 should be getting their animals ready.
Very nice crowd here at the Custer Coliseum here in the Northern Wisconsin State Fairgrounds as we are just underway with our hog show this afternoon. 102 is what we have that will be shown today. And for those of you not familiar with how we do our live streaming coverage, we do just the actual judging of the show. The showmanship part where they always take a break. We do not do showmanship. We just do the first part of the shows. So we'll have our judging of all the classes, and then they normally take a break, and that is where we step away, and then they do the showmanship after that.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kyle Roseboom. I teach at the University of Minnesota. My family and I live in Roberts, Wisconsin. I'm the judging team coach at the University of Minnesota, and I really appreciate the opportunity to come over here this afternoon and work with all the 4-H'ers and fairs on their projects. It's certainly going to be a good show. I know these are a little light, but I think we got a good quality set, and I think it's probably just going to lay the foundation to what we're going to see as we get to more of those competitive weights. Where we're going to see some rock star barrows, I suspect. So congratulations as we start out. I think we'll have a good day. What a wonderful facility. I get a chance to judge a lot of shows around the upper Midwest. And boy, this is one of the nicest places I've judged. And I've only been here in about 10 minutes, but I think this is going to be a great day. The weather's really good. So a nice way to start. I'm not going to pin these. We will start pinning some pigs as we get to bigger classes, but just before out here, I can kind of just describe them to you. This set of lightweights, you're just looking for pigs, hopefully, that ultimately, when they get to their end point in another 20, 30 pounds, they're going to be able to kind of harvest a product that's going to be lean and muscular. And then this is a show, so you want some production traits, some width. And so I think there's an easy win with the young man here, right here in front, with our kind of white-legged barrel there. He's going to win this class. Powerful, powerful barrel. He was only about 7 pounds short, I think, for making the 230 mark. But you can see that barrel's really opened up in terms of skeletal width. So much dimension and spread of muscle down his top. I think he's the one that just kind of has the most width and power of any barrel or any mark off the class. Second's going to go to this barrel, or this gilt kind of walking right in front of me. This kind of traditional belted gilt. That's kind of an interesting gilt. I'd like to see her someday out there at 270, because I think she's got some pieces, she's tall fronted, very elevated at the top of her blade, and really gives a nice shape when you look down her top. I think she's really got a nice shape to her loin edge. Just a little flatter, a little narrower as a studier, just a little bit more frail in her bone work. But I like that gilt in terms of her height of her shoulder. It really gives a good shape down her top. Third's going to go to another gilt right over there, kind of that wide belted gilt. She too is a lot like the second place gilt. Tall, elevated, extended, nice shape to her top, just like the buster, open just a little bit. She gets a little more refined. And then our sandy belted hog over there is going to end up fourth in this class. I would say that's probably the lightest muscle hog in the class when you get right behind her. I'd like to just see her with a little more shape when she gets right up to her rump and into the base of her hand. But a good structured hog, very sound. So let's give them a nice round of applause here as we start off today.
Swine class. Our first blue goes to Stanley Lang, and our second blue goes to Taryn Close. Let's give them a round of applause. next swine class has pigs going from 233 to 248 pounds. And a reminder to all swine exhibitors, please get your pictures taken today.
Always love it when where we're at.
Class 3 should be bringing their animals to the holding pens. This should include Margaret Bowl, Ben Wicken, Claire Bowl, Eva Nelson, Natalie Schuler, Timothy Keneally, and Landon Stark. Class 4 should be getting their animals ready. Please do so.
Watching the Swine Show from the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. I'm Brian Winnekins from WRDN Radio in Durand, and welcome this afternoon, and I hope you're enjoying the show so far. Did you know that a pig's squeal can reach 110 to 115 decibels? Boy, I hope they don't do that right in front of me, right? And a pig can run on a 7-minute mile. That's a lot faster than me. It's going to take me about 7 hours to run that mile. 102 pigs this afternoon are being shown here at the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. The fair gets underway, of course, tomorrow. All of the activities will get underway. And tomorrow morning we'll also have our sheep show, and then in the afternoon our beef cattle show as well. Spending the week here in Chippewa Falls. Join us tomorrow morning for the WRDN Morning Farm Report. That's from 5 to 7. We'll have farm news and markets. I have that. Mike Pearson in with Farm Progress America, Dairy News with Bill Baker, and some great classic country music too. That's the WRDN Morning Farm Report, Monday through Friday from 5 until 7 on WRDN 1430 AM stereo and 107.3 FM. You can also listen to us online at our website at realcountry1430.com. Our fair sponsors also include this afternoon Synergy Co-op, Compeer Financial, Bluff Country Feed and Seed, O'Galley Cheese Factory, Numbers Are Us, the Pierce Pep and Cooperative Services, 24/7 and West Wisconsin Telecom and Provisions Health of Durand, along with Chippewa Valley Energy and Wisconsin Credit Union. Please thank all of our sponsors as they make our broadcasts from the Northern Wisconsin State Fair possible today. Our judge narrowing the class down. Down to 6 remaining in the class. We are down to our final 3. Down to the final two. Very experienced exhibitor against a young exhibitor.
Two really good barrows here, market hogs here, barrow and gilt that are going to start off this kind of this lightweight class. I think if you look at these two, they've got a nice show pig look about them. They got a little bit more style, a little bit more look and pizzazz about them. Plenty of muscle in both these hogs. You get to these upgraded pigs, it's not really a muscle issue. All these pigs, from the standpoint of just where the industry is at, the show pig industry, they have certainly enough muscle. It's more about maybe a design and a structure and just a look that's going to kind of separate this top end. Young lady with your gilt, with the partial belted gilt, let's give her a nice round of applause. She's going to win this class. You can tell this gilt's been worked with quite a bit at home. Has a little bit more look about it. The skin, the hair, and the presentation of this gilt's extremely good. From a show ring standpoint, she's got a neat neck and a jawline that's really elevated and really kind of runs uphill. Now, I'd be the first, if I wanted to just tweak her in the space there, I'd just like to see her step with just a little bit more athletic ability off her rear wheels. But this one's got a big top, a lot of shape, really has a nice look to her, really well presented out here. The young lady does a great job sticking that gilt. The Burke here that comes here next, this is a solid hog, and if you drive if this was a purebred show and that pig was in with 20 other Berkshire barrels, that guy's going to get a look. He's really sound, he's really square in his rump, especially big right out through his hip. But I'd like to change this guy. He just gets a little blade forward, he's just a little more plain and jammed up. He's not quite as shapely right up over his top as the gilt that wins. But he's a production-oriented kind of barrel, really good on his feet and legs, good body, good rib, just a good solid barrel that needs to be right up there at the top part of the class. And then we'll start releasing them down the line here as I place them. Kind of like this blue-eyed speckle top barrel, except I like to just see him step with just a little bit more flex off his rear legs. He gets a little straight right there at his top. But from his hip forward, he's really neat fronted, he's tall and elevated in his shoulder. He has a really nice shape down the top. Just like to see him just grab another gear and just move a little bit better. And the other solid blue-eyed barrel that's sound on his feet and legs, a barrel that needs just a little more bone and foot size, probably to go with all that mass that he has up top. But he's level, he's really correct, a good solid barrel. This Berkshire barrel is just a good solid pig in terms of muscle. There's a lot of dimension when you see him from behind into his rump and stifle. He's got a little more condition up over his top line. He's not quite as lean and expressive from shoulder to hip. And then we go ahead and kind of let them out in groups. I thought these next three kind of looked alike. They're very tall, level, kind of extended hogs that have a nice side view profile. But each of these three barrels, the hogs just need to be busted open a little bit more narrow up in their chest and to their shoulder. Then the pigs that can be a little bit higher in their rump, a little steeper out of their hip. Just like to bust them open a little bit more, with a little bit more power. But a nice set. Congratulations, all exhibitors.
The winner of market class number 2 was Kennedy Kuna. And the second place was Kendall Knox. Let's give them a round of applause. Our next market class will consist of hogs going from 249 to 257 pounds. For market class 4, Aubrey King, Kendall Knox, Margaret Bull, Tynan Schuler, Timothy Keneally, Isabella Sandy, Caitlin Lazewski, Michael Meyer, Joseph Mazinski, and Kennedy Kunai should be getting their animals ready right now.
Watching coverage of the Northern Wisconsin State Fair 2023 Swine Show, I'm Brian Winnekins from WRDN Radio in Durand. Welcome this afternoon. We hope you're enjoying the coverage of our Swine Show today from the brand new Custer Auditorium, Custer Coliseum, I should say. Part of the agriculture campus here at the Northern Wisconsin State Fairgrounds. An awesome facility. What a great facility. Congratulations to everyone with the Northern Wisconsin State Fair being able to pull all this off. Some things they have not yet been able to get all worked out, but we're using my my phone as a hotspot, so you might every now and then experience the feed freeze a little bit. Do understand that, but or at least being able to bring you coverage today, and hopefully we'll be able to have the quote-unquote regular internet without my phone coming up here over the next few days. We'll have the sheep show tomorrow as well, starting at 8 a.m. The beef cattle show at about 1 o'clock. On Thursday, the dairy show at 8 a.m. and then the livestock auction as well at 6 o'clock on Thursday night. So looking forward to a lot of fun here over there the next week here in Chippewa Falls with the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. $102 hogs today in today's show. Fair runs through Sunday here in Chippewa Falls. Speaking of the weekend, join us this weekend once again for coverage of NASCARs. We'll have coverage from the New Hampshire Speedway. We have the Xfinity Series race coming up on Saturday afternoon, and then on Sunday it's the Crayon 301 from New Hampshire. That'll be coming up Sunday afternoon at about 12:30. Your home for NASCAR all season long is WRDN. You can also listen online at realcountry1430.com. Down to our last four in this class. All right, down to the last two.
The way this class sorted out, I thought these two hogs here, these kind of narrow belted and kind of middle back kind of belted barrel, they kind of just sorted the way up to me. I think when you study them down their tops, they're the two barrels that just read with the most shape right up over their back, and as you carry back into their loin edge, they're really muscular hogs. I think they're the sounder of the pin we had to kind of work with out here, but they're still different. This guy's comes with a little more bone, comes with just a little bit more stoutness. He's more opened up in his forerib. I think that's the advantage between the two, is the heaviness of structure, the bone, the stoutness, and then open up look. Young man, you're going to win this class. Congratulations. Let's give him a nice round of applause. This is a good, solid kind of hog. He's opened up, he's busted, open to his forerib. And, you know, he's not as pretty as maybe some will see. His head gets just a little bit coarse. Front end just a little lower set probably, but from the shoulder back, I just love that barrel stoutness and width and power. That's a good kind of hog. I'd argue that this one in second is a little neater neck. He's a little more extended blade forward. He kind of runs uphill, kind of like a lot of the modern show pigs do. Just a little finer featured. You know, you look down at the ground, it's just got a little smaller foot and bone about him. Just not quite as heavy duty, but that's a good hog in terms of extension, length of body. Certainly lean enough, certainly enough muscle. That's not an issue with these two hogs. Just that it's not quite as stout and heavy bone. But that's a good pick for second. Then we moved on a couple pigs. I thought that, you know, right away, I thought this black barrel was going to be one that we could really kind of maybe get up towards the top pair. But as let's drive one on out here, you can see he's kind of getting a little bit tangle-footed behind. He just doesn't want to probably move with that security. as he travels off his rear too. But standing still, I love his shape. He's heavy bone, he's stout, he's rugged. Just like to free him up behind. Same could be said about this Hampshire colored gilt right here. She's nice and shapely in her top. She's extended. She's got a good look to her. Her left hock is a little swelled, so it's kind of making her just be a little more labored behind. I don't know if she's got a little injury going. That's a good solid pig. Just like to see her sounder today. Move down to a couple there in the corner that are tall and long enough and extended enough. They just need to be wider base, a little more muscle. And the Hereford colored gilt, our barrel that finishes the class. He's a tall, big steel kind of barrel, some depth of body's good on him. Fortunately, he's probably got the most condition up over his top. I just like to see him a little leaner and more fresh in his muscle shape. So, nice set of hugs. Congratulations to the class.
For our market class number 3, we had Ben Wicken place first blue, Claire Bowl place second blue. Let's give them a round of applause. Our next market class will be for hogs ranging from 258 to 263 pounds. For market class number 5, Isabella Sandy, Jeffrey Sikora, Sam Steffes, Jada Riva, Harper Nelson, Isaac Gloves, Aaron Bieber, and Gabe Dome should be getting their animals ready right now.
And we continue our coverage of the swine show here at the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. Joining us right now, Rusty Volk. He is the executive director of the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. This is your first show in the nice brand new Custer Coliseum. Isn't this awesome?
This is really awesome. It's so good to see all these people that are able to come in here. I mean, we've got twice as many people that were ever be able to see the show in the old Red Coliseum. So this is really neat to see what the flow is going well. You know, there's always times to adjust things and make it better. So it's really good to see these first shows going off pretty much without a hitch.
Yeah, so far it seems like it's been going really well. And you know what I like is the way that the animals are coming in and out.
Yeah.
It's very smooth. Yes. and it's safe for the animals, the exhibitors, and everybody watching.
Exactly. That's what I've been telling you all the time, is that we designed this structure and this complex, our Ag Campus, so that our animals come from the rear of the building, and anybody that wants to see them comes from the front and can return, back and forth. So we can keep the E. coli at bay and keep them washed and keep everything a lot nicer. It's nice to have some cool weather too, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I will admit it's been very nice with the cool weather. I just got to also make sure we keeps everybody in the shot. But there's also some, you've had some bugs, but that's okay so far.
That's okay. You can't have it perfect.
Yeah, because then what do you do next year?
Exactly. Yeah. No, this is a trial. We've done our best at this point to set these buildings up to make it work, and we adjust it and move forward. That's how it is. That's what it's like in farming or anything else we're doing. You have to start with a basis, and then you go from there. We're fortunate that we got a lot of pens to work with, a lot of pens that we can shuffle around, move around, and it seems to be working well. Just look at the smiles. That's a good thing.
Smiles not only in the kids, but on everybody in here out there. Everybody's pretty happy with this.
Absolutely. And PAs seem to be working. There's always some challenges, as you know. That's life.
Well, again, Rusty, congratulations. I know the fair, everything gets underway in earnest tomorrow, right? You all ready?
Exactly. We start tomorrow. Actually, we kind of kick it off at 11 o'clock. We have a flag-raising ceremony. We always do that honor to the veterans. And we're having a flyover this year during the flag-raising ceremony. So that really kind of kicks it off. Yes, the shows start. Gates open at 9. Carnival's going to start at noon. But I tell you what, if you want some carnival ride tickets, you better get them today, because at midnight they're going to be gone and you're going to have to pay a little more. So go to our website and save some money.
All right, you can do that as well. And we'll be back here bright and early tomorrow morning as well at 8 a.m. with the sheep show. So
awesome.
All right, Rusty, thanks for
roll. Here we go. Let's have fun.
Let's have some fun this week. That's Rusty Volk. He is the executive director of the Northern Wisconsin State Fair as we continue our coverage of the swine show. 102. I have to ask Rusty, did you ever judge?
Did I ever judge?
Yeah.
Actually, personally, I've never shown at the fair.
Oh, wow.
No, I've never shown.
You know what?
I better do that.
You better do an open class of something.
I better. Okay, I'm on.
This week. You better do something this week.
I'm on. We'll take care of that.
Somebody give them a dairy cow.
I milk cows for many, many
Well,
years.
then get
I
him a
have
dairy-
no problem with that.
Get him a
or a beef or whatever.
Get him a brown Swiss because they're always a little cranky.
That's all right. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for anything. Bring it on.
All right, again, Rusty Volke, Executive Director of Northern Wisconsin State Fair, joining us this afternoon. And again, thanks to Rusty and the staff as well for getting us all in here as well and getting everything set up. And things are, like you say, you always got a few bugs, but we're working through them. And come on out and join us this week at the Custer Coliseum and the entire fairgrounds. This new facility is just, it's awesome. It is, boy, I tell you what, this is really nice. And if there's rain or anything like that, I got nothing to worry about. I'm so happy about that. The dust is down. I mean, the whole deal. This is gonna spoil me. I can tell you that right now. And next year I'll probably be up in the crow's nest when that is all done. And that'll make it even like, wow. Down to our last 3 here in this class. All right, down to our last 3 in this class, and
Let's give this class a good round of applause. The racetrack just got a lot faster when we went into this class 3. The heat's been turned up. These 3 barrels, or market hogs I should say here, these 3 are outstanding. They're just really good hogs, and they all kind of dropped in one class here. In fact, going down the line, this is the deepest class we've had so far, and it's probably going to get a little bit better as we get a little heavier, but this is a really nice set. There's some trade-offs. 3rd place is going to go to the young lady over there with the live belt. If I could get that girl to just grab another gear, she's just a little tight. She's just a little tentative in her step. If we can just get her to grab another gear and just be a little bit sounder and more flexible, she's built extremely good. Big top, square hip in her, huge feet and legs, a lot of bone. Just the way you kind of want to build on. Except it's built just a little bit, just a little tight. Just really want to get out and grab. And when you're running in such a fast racetrack down here, you can't have big holes in that. You got to be really complete. As I compare these 2 for your class winner, just love the levelness of that barrel right there. It's just jet level in his hip. The girl does such a nice job showing this pig, gets that head up, and just shows him really good. What I would change that guy, and I'm concerned a little bit, he's got a little too much feel on him. I like to just kind of tone him back in terms of the way his belly line is, just a little bit too full. I think that's kind of making him just be a little bit hesitant behind. I like to see a little bit more true pig when I get right up behind. He's got a big top, he's been fed well, but his rump is probably just a little flat, a little slanted on him in the seat of his pants. But that's a really interesting barrel, really level correct. That gill right there, that tricolor gill, she's sound. You can just see how she just naturally likes to walk. The flexibility to her shoulder and knee is just outstanding. She reaches like an athlete, and she's really genuine. What I like to maybe compare her back to that guy, just touch her tail set up just a little bit. Just grab that tail, ideally slow her hip just a little bit. She can be knocked out the park kind of good. But 2 outstanding hogs. We're going to try to keep these pigs sound and functional. We're going to try to keep them really, functional and productive. Your tricolor gill's the one that struck me hard when she come in the ring. She's so functional, so good. You're going to win the class over there, young lady. Congratulations. two different kind of hogs, the two outstanding hogs, just different. Again, I like to see this guy just move a little better behind. I think he's just got a little bit too much fill in him, and I think that's just opening him up just a little bit. But I love the levelness of hip. He gets a good side view profile as you study him. We already going to knock the third place gilt out. We get down to this dark silver velvet gilt that's going to end up in 4. This is a heck of a hog. And this hog right here, there's a lot of pig shows that I've judged this summer that this hog would be a class winner, and I'd love to see this kind of taking the show sometimes. Unfortunately, you just ran into a tough class out here. This gilt gets a little bit flatter and drier in her rib shape. She's not quite as busted open. Love her side view profile. Tall, extended, long body, level rump. Just a little flatter in terms of her rib shape. Maybe kind of wings out her rear legs just a little bit. Move a little better. Silver gilt here, just tremendous amount of muscle. Really good shape to her top. I'm sure from a carcass standpoint, she'll be outstanding. In the show ring deal, though, she has to be a little sounder, needs to just function a little bit better, be a little looser built. But that's a carcass hog, no doubt about it. Move into some Yorkshire colored hogs here. Hogs that are pretty functional in terms of movement. The barrel that leaves needs to be a little leaner in terms of top shape. The gilt that leaves next just needs to have a little bit more pop and expression of muscle. These Hampshire colored hogs that remain in the class, if you like the height and the length, certainly they're going to be good carcass kind of hogs. But all these hogs probably just use more bone and stoutness, square up their rumps just a little bit to make them a little more showy out here. But certainly from a carcass standpoint, they'll be certainly pleasing to look at on the kill sheet. So congratulations, outstanding class.
For our market class number 4, our first blue goes to Aubrey King, and our second blue goes to Kennedy Tonight. Let's give them a round of applause. Our next class up is our market class number 5. We have animals ranging from 260. The class that should be bringing their animals to the holding area would be market class number 6, which consists of Emmett Anderson, Henry Anderson, Natalie Schuler, Aubrey King, Brandon Wicken, Henry Taylor, and Billy Bruin.
You're watching coverage of the 2022 at Northern, or 2023 rather, Northern Wisconsin State Fair Swine Show from the Custer Coliseum on the Agriculture Campus at the Northern Wisconsin State Fairgrounds in Chippewa Falls. Good afternoon once again. I'm Brian Winnikins from WRDN Radio in Durand, and thank you to our sponsors, including Elsivia Co-op, Security Financial Bank, Sundstrom and Company of Durand, Prime Realty of Durand, Adams Super Service of Durand, N-Tech, and Dunn Energy. Just a few of our sponsors. Please thank all of our sponsors. Drop them an email, give them a call, and visit their business. Tell them thank you for supporting our live streaming coverage of the livestock show, the swine show here at the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. We'll have the sheep show tomorrow, the beef cattle show tomorrow, dairy cattle on Thursday, and the livestock auction on Thursday evening. Farmers looking for a home for all of your farm news and markets throughout the entire day? Well, WRDN, we have 7 hours of farm programming throughout the day, Monday through Friday. It all starts with our morning farm report from 5 to 7 a.m. We have hourly markets from during the 9, 10, and 11 o'clock hours, midday farm show, and then our agriculture afternoons from 1 until 3, Chip Flory with Agri Talk, and from 3 until 4, it's Mike Pearson with AOA. We also have an evening farm reports with Susan Littlefield and the Fontenelle Final Bell, and also Mike Pearson with Farm Progress America. You can listen on 1430 AM stereo, 107.3 FM, and on our website. You can listen to our streaming audio at realcountry1430.com. That's realcountry1430.com. Your home for farm news and markets throughout the day is WRDN. Uh-oh, we got one running. And did you know a pig can do a mile in 7 minutes? A pig can do a 7-minute mile. In case you did not know that. Over 100 million pigs are raised each year in the United States. Some of our trivia compliments of the Wisconsin Pork Association.
A real outstanding class. Show pig industry, they're all very and they have in that, you know, some extras as far as bone and foot size. The third lovely shape, the most just not quite as stand though. Just when you set her in motion, she just gets a little bit tight. Quite a bit. Second. He does a nice job showing that he's underneath her big light toe spread. She sets down and play the game to get across that other barrel. The barrel's going to win, but she's good enough in terms of the surfaces as to change that. The spot gill needs make her a little more rugged. Couple hogs here that just need a little more muscle. They stand right behind these two and they just get a little flatter in the base of their ham.
The winner of market class number 5. First blue goes to Sam Steppes. And second blue goes to Jim Ross. 271 to 275 pounds. On 7, this includes Clay Hilger, Henry Taylor, Maverick Savada, Wyatt Wellner, Garrett Engel, Emmett Anderson, Adeline Frank, Bentley Lukowski, Emery Bull. And those hogs will be from 277 to 281. Also, please make sure to Again, continuing coverage of the Swine Show from the Northern Wisconsin State Fair, the Custer
Coliseum. I'm Brian Winnekins from WRDN. Again, we do know that, yes, we've had a little bit of technical issues with the stream, the video stream. Very first show from the Custer Coliseum, and so it's to be expected. We do have a few bugs. We're using my hotspot here as the internet that is in the internet connection that's in the building is not working properly. They are working on it, so we're using my phone as a hotspot, and we are obviously there's a lot of traffic here with a lot of folks at the show today, and so we are experiencing a little bit of freeze up on the video at times. Hopefully we'll be able to get this all worked out here. The folks here are aware of the situation and trying to get that internet put back together, or at least the connection here at this building, and hopefully we'll have that either today or coming up tomorrow morning for the sheep show and also the beef show as well. First time here at the Northern Wisconsin State Fair, so yeah, I have a little growing pains with this, especially with this brand new building. Looks like we're down to our final 3 here in this class.
Really interesting trio of hogs out here. There's trade-offs amongst these 3. I don't know if there's just one that is the clear-cut winner. I think you have to kind of weigh them up a little bit. Kind of just decide. It depends where I put my priorities. There's certainly things I like about each of these 3, and they each have a trait that probably excels the whole class. And then there's a place on them you just like to tweak an area. But I think all in all, in terms of shape and expression and freshness, one that's got a good skeleton underneath her. The young lady over there, she's going to win the class. Let's give her a nice round of applause. I like her top shape the best of any girl in the class. I think she's going to fed right. She's got a lean groove down her back. It's not too raw. It's not too soft. I think she's really fresh. Where I like to fix her, she's got a little bit of swelling right through her seam of her hand, right down the rear portion of her underline. You see that sometimes in these modern show pigs. I don't know, it's a lymph node that's swelled up, or is it from a high-fat additive? I don't know, but sometimes it gets a little bit distracting. It's not as bad as some I've seen this summer, but I'd like to just clear her up of that one little blemish in the rear portion of her belly wall. But that's a good, sound, structured gilt. You can see how free and easy she moves. She's tight in her jaw and throat. Good shape to her top. That's a nice gilt to start. Second's going to be the young man's black and white bear over there. 817 exhibitor here. That pig's been fed and cared for extremely well. The skin and hair on him is really good. He's got some shape to his top. He's probably got a little more bark on him than you probably will like to notice. He's got a little more condition in his lower 1/3. I bet he'll be a little bit, like to see him a little leaner in his chin, probably to make him more ideal. He's probably got a little more condition on him than ideal for me. But that's a good square built, sound, real functional kind of pig. I like to just lean up his top just a little bit. The pig here that comes here next is solid hog. You'd love to have a bunch of females like that. Back at the university, I help with the swine unit. I help supervise it. We'd like to lay a bunch of Yorkshire females in that look like that all day long. You can breed them to the show pig sires and make barrows real easy. This one's real sound, real functional. She just needs a bit more muscle. The marker hog show, she's just a little plain in terms of muscle shape. Soundness and function is really, really good. Just like to see a little bit more shape and pop when I get down her back. The blue butt barrel here, coming here next. The young lady works real hard to get this pig shown. He's kind of a fast one out here. He wants to run on you, but you're doing a great job trying to keep him in front of me. He needs just a little more freshness right behind his shoulder. His chine bone's coming up just a little bit. I like to see him a little fresher in his top shape, but I love the length and correctness. It was one of the better moving hogs we had in the class. The Hampshire colored barrel that comes here next, I just like to see his rear legs a little bit more correct. Kind of likes to twist and turn right out as he travels. I like to see him a little sounder. He certainly looks like he grew well. He's going to have a good carcass measurements, I think, at his endpoint. It's just feet and legs that kind of hurt that guy. And then the two kind of down here speckled top pigs. They're tall, long, kind of extended, lengthy kind of pigs. And I bet they'll be lean enough when they get to their harvesting point. But you can see there they just need a little bit more muscle when you watch them walk away. They just get a little flatter to the base of their hand. Good show, good class, congratulations.
The winner for market class number 6 is, the first blue is Otter King, and second blue goes to Brandon Wicken. Let's give them a round of applause. Our next class up is our market class number 7 with hogs ranging from 277 to 281 pounds. On deck, those that will be bringing their hogs to the holding area will be market class number 8, which includes Hannah Peeper, Chase Phillips, Madison Seidel, Owen King, Breck, Nicholas Frank, Ben Wicken, Wyatt Wellner, and Marguerite Craig.
Watching coverage of the Northern Wisconsin State Fair 2023 Swine Show from the Custer Coliseum. I'm Brian Winnekins from WRDN Radio, and thank you for joining us this afternoon on our YouTube channel, also on our Facebook Live and website at realcountry1430.com. Thank you to Provisions Health of Durant, 24/7 and West Wisconsin Telcom, Pierce Pepin Cooperative Services, Numbers Are Us, O'Galley Cheese Factory, Bluff Country Feed and Seed, Compeer Financial, Synergy Co-op, Chippewa Valley Energy, and Wisconsin Credit Union, sponsors of our fair coverage throughout the summer, not only here at the Northern Wisconsin State Fair, but next week we have the Wabasha County Fair, then it's the Dunn County Fair, then it's the Buffalo Pepin County Fair, and then the Pierce County Fair as well to wrap up our fair coverage throughout the summer. So we have a brand new class in. Oh, when they come right, they always like to come over to where I'm at. We're right up next to the show ring, obviously. 102 pigs today in our show. And we'll continue as well with the show tomorrow with the sheep show, bright and early at 8 o'clock from the Custer Coliseum. And then also tomorrow we'll have the beef show at about 1 o'clock. Thursday, it's the dairy show at 8, and then the livestock auction at 6 on Thursday evening. Should be a wonderful time. Someone to do something just to talk a little bit, you bet.
I'm one of the ag teachers here in Chippewa Falls.
Oh, okay, we can do something.
Okay.
That's something. What's your name?
I'm Gina Bergen. If you want me to talk about what the judge is looking for, I can do that.
Okay. Right now, Gina Bergen joins us, and she is the ag educator here in Chippewa Falls. Gina, thanks for joining us. Pretty good. How do you like the new building?
Oh, they're beautiful. I think, honestly, my favorite part, besides the larger Coliseum here that we can show in, we have a nice big show ring. But I think the other awesome part about it is, like, we have much better seating for all the spectators. So we can actually more comfortably seat more parents, family members, community, whatever, sponsors that are coming in to see our shows. I think that's probably my favorite part here is, like, we have a bigger space and people can sit and see and watch more.
So for those that are watching right now that are like, what is the judge looking for? Tell us, what does the judge here in the swine show look for?
Yeah, so there's 3 key terms when we're judging pigs, and that's width, length, and depth. So if you look at any part of the hog's body, whether it's across the top, or it's down their side, or if it's along their ham, which is their butt, or any of those places, we want them to be long, deep, and wide. And the reality is, as long as the pig can walk appropriately and carry all of that weight, there is no such thing as too long, too deep, or too wide. If it can handle, if it's got the skeletal structure in its legs to handle it. So that's really what we're looking for. We do want pigs to have a little bit of fat or finish on them. Like, we want to see some seamage. Like, we can see a seam that goes down that follows their spine across the top. Sometimes we have what's called the dimple, which is a little dimple that's right in front of their tail head. We might see some seaming on their ham or their butt, and we want to see some of that, but we can't have it be too extreme where the pig is so muscular it can't walk, because nobody wants to eat meat from that. And that's ultimately what these animals are for.
All right. Wow. So a lot to look at. We're down to, it looks like, our final 4 here in the class. This is where it gets to be nervous for the exhibitors, isn't it? Because the longer you're out here, the higher you're going.
That is exactly correct. So as an exhibitor, and I exhibited hogs back when I was a 4-H and FFA member, but yes, that was always the goal. The longer you can stay in the show ring with your animal, the better your placing is.
Okay.
So yes, the nervousness and the anxiety definitely goes up. And then this judge in particular, he's doing an awesome job. He's not being consistent, though, in terms of how many pigs he's leaving out in the show ring. Like right now we're looking at 4, and he's taking quite a longer look at these 4 versus some of our earlier classes. He had everybody penned up except for 2. So that's adding almost an air of mystery and suspense for everybody. He's also not necessarily talking about the top hog first. The last couple classes, he's named the 3rd place first, and that still is then waiting to see who actually wins the class. So he must have maybe some theater background in him or something.
Here we go. We're going to go and see what we'll see what our judge decides here.
As we get into these heavier weights, we're starting to see some hogs that are really coming to their end point. They're getting stout, they're getting kind of filled out and powered up a little bit. And with that, sometimes you start seeing some pigs that probably got a little bit more bark on their backs, probably than ideal. You like to just lean them up and freshen them up a little bit. And that was the case in the 4th place throw I just put in there. He's probably a little bit past the 12 o'clock in terms of true condition and tint of fat. So, you look at these 3 hogs out here, they're a little bigger scale kind of hogs, which is kind of what's happening in a lot of these shows. They're trying to elevate them a little bit, extend them, maybe improve their front end structures a little bit. And then you look at these 3, they kind of can get their heads up out of the dirt. They can elevated hogs that have a little more look and eye appeal about them, but yet you get up over their tops, they're lean enough, they have enough shape to them. I think to me though, when you judge a hog show, I always get asked, how do you judge hogs when there's 10 running around? Or one year I did the Mississippi State Fair and there's 40 in the class, and everybody asked, well, how do you judge hogs when there's 40 running around in one class? I said, well, you don't compare them to each other. It's almost like you just find that ideal. And that's kind of how you judge most shows. You find them ones that are your ideal. Because if you tried to compare them back and forth, 40 hogs or even 10 hogs would be kind of challenging. You kind of get nerve-wracking out here. So I just try to find those animals that come and strike me hard when they walk in the ring. And this dot back belted pig right here, he struck me hard. Young man, you're going to win this class. And we open the gate, and that guy kind of took his first pass across the ring. He's the one that combines things. He's the combination hog of width and power and squareness. You've been hearing me talk that all day. Yet he's elevated enough, he's extended enough from his blade forward. He kind of puts a lot of nice things together. We'll see how he stacks up in the championship lineup, but he looks a lot like the other class winners. I think that's kind of a pick that we need to tie into. After that, it could get tough. It's where you lay your priorities. I like the Yorkshire Gill second. I think she looks most like him. If you just blow her apart just a little bit, then I think she can actually maybe push the barrel. She's so good on her feet and legs. She's so comfortable and flexible off both ends of her skeleton. She could walk for miles and not get tired. But she needs to be just powered up. You just like to bust her open and give her just a little bit more mass. For a mark hog show, you drop her into a Yorkshire breeding dog class, she'd just be outstanding. But in the mark hog class, maybe just like to see a little bit more gas in the tank there. This one here, the young lady does an awesome job showing this skill. She never got drinking sour or fired up too much out here. She's a lot like the Gilton in second. Super good on her feet and legs. Just flexible, cushions off both ends of her skeleton. Really, really good. She's got the same problem the Yorkshire Gill had. Just like to see her come and go with just a little bit more width and muscle power. The way she sounds is flexible. And her advantage over this pair coming out next. This is the pair I kind of went back and forth about in my minute running because they're opposites. I love the rib shape. I love the openness of chest of the barrel. I just like to crank him back in terms of body condition. He just got a little bit too much grease on him. Just like to see him a little leaner. But he's been fed good in terms of width and power. He's really level. Just like to see him a little bit leaner today. The gray gilt here that comes here next, her hip and hind leg need to be just changed. She's got a good shape to her top, and she's really got a good shoulder width in terms of shape of shoulder. Her hip gets a little steeper. She's not as correct in her structure as the hogs that went out above her. The calico pig here that comes here next, I thought this one might have been a player because I got a good shot of this pig coming in the ring. Big feet, a lot of bone. But when you get off the side of this pig, you can see it gets a little bit weak right behind its shoulder. And as that pig walked away, it's got a little narrower tracking. The front end shot coming at you is real good, though. Bone and foot size real good. The gray pig coming here next. Good rib shape, good body, rib and body in this pig. This needs a little more shape and muscle. He's got a little bit flatter rump structure. Needs a little more power down in the lower portion of his hand. We finish with a couple longer body pigs that have some extension, but a lot like some of the other classes we've seen here, just need to be wider and stouter and just squared up a little bit to be more competitive. Good class, guys. Good showmanship in that class. Congratulations.
For our market class number 7, our first blue goes to Wyatt Malner, and our second blue goes to Maverick Savada. Let's give them a round of applause. Our class that's being released to the show ring is our market class number 8. We have hogs ranging from 283 to 289 pounds. Up next will be our market class number 9. So Nicholas Frank, Aaron Bieber, Caitlin Mazuski, Dalton Keneally, Henry Anderson, Hunter Hilbert, Marguerite Frank, Adeline Frank, and Owen King should all be getting their animals to the holding area.
Again, watching coverage of the Swine Show here at the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. I'm Brian Winnikins from WRDN Radio. Gina Bergen joining us as well. She is the ag educator here in Chippewa Falls. Okay, you mentioned, what the judge is looking for, and you want him to stay out there. Okay, see, for me now, I never showed pigs. But okay, well, I want to stay out there as long as I can. I'm going to make sure the judge doesn't see me. That doesn't work, right?
No, that's the opposite of what you want to happen. Our judge has used the term drive. You want to drive your hog at the judge as soon as you come out into the ring because you want the judge to look at yours first. If you can have him look at yours first, that would be great. And then there's going to be others the judge is going to look at. So when you first come out of the holding pens, if you can drive your hog right towards the judge first, And you're also, as an exhibitor, looking at the judge and make some eye contact. Judges actually like it when you smile at them and you don't look so serious all the time. You know, like we want to see confidence.
Supposed to be having fun out here.
Exactly. You know, like, yes, you know, we want to place well, but this is also a learning experience and it's supposed to be fun. So yeah, most judges like it if you'd actually smile at them. But then after the judge gets a first look, then you just want to always keep your pig in between you and the judge. So if you're watching the live stream, you should notice our better showmen for these students are the ones who switch sides of their pigs. Because the worst thing you can do, quite frankly, is if you're blocking your pig from the judge to look at, you're probably going to go to the bottom because he's like, well, I can't see it. You know what I mean? And the funny part was our judge here was just talking about how he has judged, he said the Mississippi State Fair where they would have 40 pigs in the ring. Number one, I can't even imagine how that would go, quite frankly, because like we get 10 in a class here and we're like, whoa, big class, you know? But yeah, if you block your hog from the judge being able to see, that's what's going to kind of guarantee you're going to end up on the bottom. So drive your hog towards the judge when you come out, and then basically you don't block your pig, so keep your pig in between you and the judge, and let your judge see all sides and angles of your pig.
Okay.
So those would be the key things that these showmen, the really good ones, if you're watching, that's what they're doing.
And now, have you judged shows? Do you judge?
No, I've just exhibited. I teach some of the skills that this is. I don't need one more thing to do with my time, quite frankly. Thank you for saying that.
But okay, so I have to ask, though, even though you don't judge, so when you've seen shows like this, are there times where like you're thinking, dude, what did you see that, because I didn't see anything you just explained?
No, I've never honestly felt that way because I understand maybe the terminology just because of I'm an ag teacher and I grew up on a hog farm. I showed pigs as a student. So what the judge is saying, I see it. Do I see it the same time as him? Probably not. You know what I mean? But most of what how the judge makes decisions is based upon, you know, sound science. Is there sometimes a little bit that becomes subjective? Yes. I have seen that when we've had judges who are also like producers themselves. I've seen it where they might actually have a slight bias to maybe a certain breed or something like that. I think if I were to judge pigs, I would have a certain bias because personally I like the ones that are longer.
Okay, but that is part of it, isn't it?
It is, but again, remember, it's about that supporting structure. Sure. But if I have a bias to that length, then maybe I'm not paying attention to some other things. So also answer your question, also one of the reasons why I'm not a livestock judge, because I realize I might possess some biases.
Well, I think this is so much fun for the kids as well. And again, thank you for some great insight, because some of our folks may not know what's. It's like I've had that before. What is he looking for?
Yeah.
And you got to kind of just follow along. But thank you.
You know, I'm a teacher by trade. Any chance I can get to educate about the ag industry, I'm going to take it.
All right. Well, Gina, again, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Again, as we continue coverage of our swine show this afternoon from the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. And thank you again to all of our sponsors as well. And thank you to folks helping out with the show today. Also, too, from the Wisconsin Pork Association, did you know the average American eats about 46 pounds of pork annually? I know I would be in that class. Down to our final three here in this class. Join Chip Flory for Agri Talk. That is Monday through Friday from 1 until 3, followed by Mike Pearson with AOA, America on Agriculture. That's from 3 until 4, part of our Agriculture Afternoons, Monday through Friday here on WRDN. Real Country 1430 AM and 107.3 FM. You can also listen online at realcountry1430.com. It features 7 hours of farm programming Monday through Friday. Those of you watching our live stream as well on our on our Facebook channel, we do save these on our YouTube channel as well at Duran Broadcasting WRDN. So if you missed the first part of the show, you can watch it there.
How about a nice round of applause? Show our appreciation to the administrator. Tell you what, these three young guys are out here competing like it's a football game. Which, nowadays showing hogs, showing steers, it is a sport for a lot of families. It's kind of replaced Little League. So you guys are working hard and you're really trying to do the best job you can to get these pigs in front of me so I can see them. And I appreciate that as a judge. I didn't have to follow you around or go from corner to corner. You brought the pigs to me, and that's I really appreciate that as a judge. These are three really good hogs. We're getting in on that upper 280s, which is a lot of shows, kind of that ideal kind of size, a lot of kids are shooting for to win a big show. And when you look at these pigs, they're at their end point. This is as good as they're going to look. And if you study them, these are three outstanding hogs. Plenty of muscle. If you really study them as a whole relative to the hog industry, they got tons of muscle relative to the average pig in the industry, and certainly enough muscle in a show ring. What's going to separate them is going to be a little bit kind of the extra things like bone and foot size, neck length and design, and that extra eye appeal up front, and then some soundness issues kind of separate them. But muscle doesn't separate these by any stretch. They're all really good muscle hogs. My favorite hog kind of puts together the other two's issues. If I could just break them down before I tell you how to place them, the black hog. Boy, he's a fancy one. The young man does a great job getting him showed. You can tell he's been driven at home because he doesn't get out here and squeal. He's just used to being drove. Very comfortable with being whipped and getting moved around out here. He's probably got the best top shape from blade to hip of any hog we have in this class. I like his big rump that he has in him. He's got plenty of bone and left a lot of shag on his legs the way they clip him, so it makes him look even heavier bone. I think we can all see where we like to change this guy. His skeleton isn't quite right. He's really down on his front feet. He's kind of running on 4 flat tires out here in terms of pasturing. Just like you just see his structure better. He's a beautiful pig in terms of shape and expression and all that, but his feet ain't quite right, and he just kind of labors a little bit more than what you'd like to have. But boy, showing pretty good out here. He's just really been displayed nicely. The pale skin belted pig, he's really level. He's probably the levelest top, levelest rump hog we have in the class. He moves pretty well. Here's where I'd like to change him. He's got a little more bark on his back. As you can see, he's got more condition up in his neckline and jowl. He's just probably maybe a little past 12 o'clock in terms of composition of true meat animal shape there. But his skeleton is good. He's level in his hip, level in his rump. Probably could use a little more bone because he's standing next to these other two that got a little more bone. But that's a good hog in terms of his levelness, his squareness, and soundness. The white hog didn't really rock my world when he first came in the ring. I kind of lost him. He kind of got lost on the fence line a little bit. I told the young man, take your hand off his back and just let that guy roam. Let him go because he's way better when he gets his head up and moves. He's the best necked one of the group. He's got a nice, strong head shape and skull shape about him. He's really got a fancy shouldering attitude about his front end. He's really good in his top and his levels to hip. He's not as heavy bone as the black one, but he's got a nice shape to his top. And as I started to break these three down and kind of look at them, more times than not I came back to the white pig as being just the least amount of faults. He's plenty muscular, he's plenty stout, he's plenty loose. We just got to get him to show a little better. You got to, are you playing football? You look like it. Okay? Let's get this guy going, huh? He's an athlete, just like you. Remember, show pigs are athletes. Let's get this guy going. Now you can see he's really good neck. He puts his head up. He's a whole different world out here. He's got his tracks wide behind, good shape. That's my class winner. Let's give the young man a round of applause. Solid black barrel is going to be second. Boy, if I could just If I could give this guy the skeletal build of the white pig, then we got a rock star there. If he could have the feet and legs of the white pig, then we got a rock star, because you do love his bone shape. A good level pig that just needs to be a tick leader, to be honest, is going to go in third. But that's a good job of your showmanship as well. We can start dropping some pigs out here. That tough class, good hogs. This is a good hog, and in other classes, this pig might have been in the top two. We get him out here, though. You can see when this pig walks at you, kind of labors a little bit on his front feet. He's broke down in his pastures too, so he kind of struggles up there. He kind of closes up in his front. Hip back, or shoulder back, though. He's a good big top pig. Got some shape to hip. The Yorkshire gilt that comes here next just gets a little bit kind of low front end. You can see she kind of runs downhill. Love her hip, big old stout square rump. Her front end though runs a little downhill. She needs to be extended. The two white hogs that come here next, they just need a tad more muscle. They're kind of peas in a pod. They're tall and long, level kind of pigs. Both of them just need a bigger rump structure, a little more width and thickness when you get right behind. The two kind of black and white velvet painted up hog here at the end. This is a structure issue. Plenty of stoutness, plenty of rib and capacity, both of them. This is kind of different because a lot of times we lose with the lighter muscle hogs. This is more of a structure thing, feet and legs, just like the redesign in there. So nice class, congratulations.
For our market class number 8, our first blue went to Owen King, and our second blue to Wyatt Wellner. Let's give him a round of applause. Our next class up is our market class number 9, with hogs ranging from 285 to 296 pounds. Those that should be bringing their pigs to the holding area would be our market class number 10. So this should include Delton Keneally, Bentley Willikowski, Michael Meyer, Chloe Schroeder, Elsie Berlin, Sam Steffes, and Brandon Wick. And again, you folks should be bringing your hogs to the holding area.
Watching coverage of the 2023 Northern Wisconsin State Fair Swine Show from the Custer Coliseum here on the Northern Wisconsin State Fairgrounds in Chippewa Falls. I'm Brian Winnekins from WRDN Radio in Durant, and pleasure to be here. Thank you to the Northern Wisconsin State Fair, along with Elsivia Co-op, Security Financial Bank, Sundstrom & Company, Prime Realty, Adams Super Service, NTech, and Dunn Energy, sponsors of our broadcasts on our live stream, and also including Synergy Co-op, Compeer Financial, Bluff Country Feed and Seed, O'Galley Cheese Factory, Numbers Are Us, Pierce Pep & Co-op Services, 24/7 and West Wisconsin Telecom, Provisions Health of Durand, Chippewa Valley Energy, and Wisconsin Credit Union. Please thank all of our sponsors for supporting our live stream and our broadcasts from all of our fairs. Give our sponsors a call, drop them an email, visit their business, tell them thank you for supporting us and these broadcasts. They are the ones that make these broadcasts and live streams possible. As we continue on, I think we have like 3 more classes before we'll do the championship round. And then there is a break, and then showmanship is after that. We step away at the break. In between the regular show and the showmanship, that's where we end our coverages at that break. So tomorrow morning, we will have continuing coverage, as we'll have the sheep show, 8 o'clock from the Custer Coliseum. And then at about 1 o'clock, it's the dairy cattle show as well. So looking forward to that here tomorrow. We'll have the beef or the dairy cattle show on Thursday morning at 8. And then we will also have the livestock auction as well on Thursday evening at 6 o'clock. Still have 5 remaining in the ring. Nope, make that 6. 6 remaining in the ring. Make that 5. As soon as I said something. All right, whittling the class down here. If you're a NASCAR fan, WRDN is your home for NASCAR throughout the entire NASCAR season. So we're heading to New Hampshire this weekend. We'll have the Xfinity Series race coming up on Saturday afternoon. And then on Sunday, it's the Grand 301, and we'll have coverage of that as well. And you can listen to NASCAR all season long on WRDN 1430 AM stereo and 107.3 FM. You can also listen online at our website at realcountry1430.com and listen through our live streaming service. The audio stream is right on the home page, upper left-hand corner, you'll see it. You can also download the Live 365 app. Just say, Alexa, play WRDN on Live 365, and she'll do that for you. Beautiful afternoon here in Chippewa Falls, as everything will get underway in earnest tomorrow here at the Northern Wisconsin State Fair.
Big stout kind of hogs in this class all the way through. High-performing hogs that look like they grew well and kind of got to the day with a lot of performance and power to them. There's two that look alike. The two barrels are a little more modern-framed hogs that are a little more opened up. The bigger, longer, kind of more extreme length kind of gilt here that you just like to crack open just a little bit more, but you like her length and extension. So she's unfortunately doesn't kind of, you either got to go first or third with her because these two look so much similar out here. So we're going to go ahead and drop your gilt third just because she's a little bit different. She just doesn't have quite that power to her. You like her extension blade forward. She's not quite as big down her top. Right behind her shoulder, she kind of gets a little flatter in that upper rib shape. Love her soundness. I love to have a bunch of breeding gilts that look like her. You could breed them to those freaky boars and really come up with some neat show pigs. But in this market hog class, unfortunately, just not enough muscle and power. These two barrows are stout. They're close to 300. They're right at their end point, really. And they just are wide. You look at them come at you. Both these barrows, they come at you like Mack trucks up front. They're open in their chest and they got big legs on them, and they're just really, really stout. If you look at it in terms of levelness, the dot-butted pig here, he's a little more correct. I'd like to just see that barrel over there. He kind of just, his rump gets a little bit off, and he gets a little bow-legged. You can kind of see as he goes away, he gets a little out of his hocks. He just likes to kind of get him with inside himself a little bit as he travels. That's going to be the difference. The painted up barrel here is going to be a class one. Let's give him a nice round of applause. Just really correct, really level, big feet, big bone under this guy. If I was going to tweak this guy, I'd give him a little bit more shape when you look at him from behind. To go with all that front end power, he just needs just a little bit more expression right through the base of his hand. But we'll see how he stacks up. But that's a good heavy-duty barrel. Bear in second, wide base, heavy bone, good kind of hog. Looks a lot like the class winner, except the way he handles his rear feet and legs isn't quite as good. He kind of gets a little out at his hop. But a really good class. The fourth place hog here that comes out, the young lady works really hard out here. She does a good job keeping that pig kind of in front of me. This pig just gets a little bit off on both ends of his skeleton. His front end, he gets a little bit in at his knees out front. His hip gets a little round. He wants to kind of tuck as he travels. But that pig's been fed real nice. He's lean at his tent. Got a really nice shape down his top. He's been fed before the show really, really good. The barrel here that comes next, just a good solid pig, except that she just needs to be a little wider. It's not that She's, an awful hog, no doubt about it. She's good and bred. But when she gets out here amongst these other ones, she just comes up a little narrow, to be honest. Doesn't have quite that extra width. The Yorkshire Barrel that comes here next is a little plainer through his head and neck, a little lower set, a little flatter on his front feet. Probably got a little more condition on him in all reality, but I like his width. The hip is good. He's got more width and power from behind than the remaining hogs. The black and white pig here that comes next, a good lean top, just a little flatter sided, a little flatter rump, and then we finish with the Yorkshire Barrel and a blue butt barrel. The Yorkshire Barrel needs to be leaner than the big speckle top barrel. He just needs, his build just needs to be a little heavier muscle. So 2 different kind of hogs here to compare the class.
For our market class number 9, our first blue goes to Hunter Hilger, our second blue goes to Caitlin Mazuski. Let's give them a round of applause. As we enter our market class number 10, we have hogs ranging from 291 to 301 pounds. Those in market class number 11, including Elson Berlin, Karen Engel, Gabe Domes, Joseph Kaczynski, Madison Seibel, and Brianna Freed, should be bringing their animals to the holding area.
We're down to our last 4 here in this class. Your home for agriculture news and markets throughout the entire day is WRDN. We have 7 hours of farm programming Monday through Friday. We kick it off with the morning farm report from 5 until 7. Farm news, farm markets with yours truly, along with Mike Pearson and Bill Baker, plus some great classic country music too. We have hourly markets during the 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 11 o'clock hours. Our afternoon midday farm market farm news as well at about 12:30. Then Chip Flory with AgriTalk from 1 until 3. Mike Pearson with AOA, America on Agriculture, from 3 until 4. And Susan Littlefield with final bell during the 4 o'clock hour after our local news and sports.
Getting close to, I think, 300 in a lot of these pigs, and you can kind of see it in a few of them. We just got, they just get past their prime a little bit, and they're just carrying a little extra condition in their lower 1/3, and their top shape isn't quite as crisp as some that we've seen earlier at lighter weights. So that's kind of what you get as you get to these heavier hogs. And so trying to find a heavy hog that's kind of stayed lean to a heavy weight and stayed fresh to a heavy weight, it's a no-brainer out here. That young man over there wins the class. Not to take anything away from the other barrels, but that to me was kind of a one-pony race out here once I saw that guy come in the ring. Because it's hard to make 300-pounders fresh and lean, and that pig's pretty good there. He's really good coming on his top. He'll probe lean in his skin when he gets to his harvest. You know, if you can fix him a little bit, we'll see how he stacks up, but maybe just a little stouter foot underneath him, but that's a lean, fresh, shapely kind of barrel that definitely came to the forefront pretty quickly for me as I studied the class. Second's going to be to my right over here, this young man. Just a good solid hog. I mean, he's wide-chested, he's square in his build. He's not as fresh and as lean and as shapely as the class winner, but he's solid. You like to have, you know, kind of a whole finish for that kind of pig. They're never going to hurt you. They grow fast. They rail acceptable carcass mare. So that's just a good solid pig to sit there and second. A Hampshire hog over here, I just like to see this guy on a bigger set of feet and legs. He's just a little, for as big and massive as he is up on top, he just needs bigger feet, a little stouter underpinning on this guy. It just kind of blend him a little bit better. But there's no doubt he's got some extension and length of body's good, and looks like he grew well, and so definitely he moves pretty good. Just needs a little bit stouter underneath. So a nice pig there to sit next. And then we get into some hogs that, you know, they grew well and they're productive, but they just need a little change in a few areas. This is a long-bodied, real level top hog, but you get right behind him and watch him walk out of the ring, you just see that he just needs more thickness to his rump area, a little more dimension into his lower ham. This guy's chock full of muscle, and he'll look good come harvest day. He's got a big loin on him. He's going to have a lot of muscle shape when you get right on terms of a muscle score. His big legs hurt him in a showroom environment. He's just struggling too much out here in terms of movement. But I'll put my money on that guy looking awesome come carcass contest time. In the show ring, just needs to move quite a bit better. This guy right here is a long body, level barrel, just needs a little more muscle when you get right behind him. He kind of gets close in his stride. He kind of almost crosses his legs a bit. You just like to span them open just a little bit. The belted barrel, same thing. They look good from the side. They're level and long, but when they walk away from you, they just close up underneath. They just need to be expanded just a little bit. Nice class. Congratulations again on a good show.
Okay, the winner of our market class, number 10, is Sam Steppes, and our second blue goes to Delton Keneally. Let's give them both a round of applause. We are now entering the ring with our market class, number 11, with hogs ranging from 302 to 305. Those in market class number 12 should be bringing their animals to the holding area. This includes Blake Sikoria, Elliot Gotham, Millie Berlin, Nathan Gully, Isaac Lubbs, Jace Phillips, Alexis Fetcher, Isaac Fetcher, and Hunter Seidler.
Again, watching continuing coverage of the Swine Show from the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. I'm Brian Winnikins from WRDN Radio in Durand. And again, welcome. Hope you're enjoying our live streaming coverage throughout the day today. as we're getting close to the end of our regular show. Have a few more classes, then we'll have the championship run. We'll wrap up today's coverage, but we'll be back tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock with the Sheep Show. As the fair gets underway in earnest tomorrow, our flag raising ceremony starting at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Also, we'll have Real Beals, the one-man band, in the near the office area at about 11:30. Pig, duck, and goat races, noon to 12:30, the animal racing area. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to that. Of course, the show tomorrow night will be Hairball, starting at 7 o'clock in the grandstand. As in this class, already down to our last, looks like our final three. Nope, already down to our final three in this class.
Let's give this class a nice round of applause here. We'll get into that nice roll through. I tell you what, all through this class, we really don't have an extremely over-conditioned one. You know, they've held themselves together pretty well up to this 3 mark. And I tell you what, these 3 gilts have really held themselves together. They're just, in terms of condition and shape, they're right where you want them in terms of a show gilt. These are 3 really high-quality gilts. You know, we got a small class here, and you sometimes wonder as you get to the end of the show what you're going to see. But boy, the heat came out of the barn on this class. This is really incredible. With that being said, though, there's one that just trips my trigger a little bit more. The young lady's white gilt over there. Let's give her a nice round of applause. Tell you what, we've been looking for one that's kind of, you know, in every class I'm trying to find that one that puts it all together, and she does it within this group a little bit better than the others. She combines width and with the skeleton, stoutness of Fermion, that chest floor power with a big hip. She's got a little bit more spread to her center ham than this young man's gilt that's going to go second. His cheese leaves you a little better. I'd say this gilt from the side view profile is as good as anything we've seen today. Her tail set is jacked up really high, and she's just dead level, but can handle it extremely well. She just doesn't come with that extra muscle mass when you get right behind her. That's a nice pair of gilts, no doubt about it. Boy, this traditional belted gilt that's going towards the fence over there, you know, in a lot of other places, a lot of other days, that could be a class winner or a division winner because she's that good. Unfortunately, in this class, when she gets matched up against these other 2, she just gets a little jammed up and shorter up through her front end. Not quite as good in terms of the way she travels at a ground foot side. Big hip, and that's a nice gilt that ends up down low in the base of his hand as some of the other hogs. But a good pick from the side. The blue speckled or blue round barrel here just needs a bit more bone to go with that extra. A little bit he's free and easy in his movement. Just needs a little bit more muscle for him to be more competitive. Nice set of hogs. Congratulations.
The first blue for market class number 11 goes to Brianna Freed, and our second blue goes to Gabe Dumpel. Give them a round of applause. Our next market class is market class number 12. This is it with hogs going from 306 to 314. And after this will be our last market class, number 13. And this will Nathan Gully, Jada Riva, and Samantha Gully, please bring your show pigs to the holding area. Another reminder, please make sure you get your pictures taken before the show is done today.
Gina? Thank you to our sponsors, including Alcivia Co-op Security Financial Bank, also Sunstrom and Company Prime Realty of Durand, Adams Super Service Durand, Tech, and Dunn Energy. Just a few of our sponsors of our fair broadcasts from the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. Also, thank you to the staff at the Northern Wisconsin State Fair as well for having us here this year. You're enjoying our coverage today. Also, thanks to Jenna Bergen for joining us. Oh, thank you. And also Rusty Volk as well from the Northern Wisconsin State Fair for stopping by. We're going to have some more folks even tomorrow that'll be joining us during our coverage of the sheep and also the beef cattle shows. Oh, we got another runner. And remember, pigs can do the 7-minute mile. Grouped up in front of me. You can listen to WRDN not only on 1430 AM stereo, but also 107.3 FM and online at realcountry1430.com. You can listen through the Live 365 app as well. When you're listening online, by the way, you are actually listening to an over-the-air AM radio. That's right, you're listening to an AM radio. When you listen online, it's an AM stereo receiver. We broadcast in AM stereo. It's just proof positive on how AM radio can sound if the car companies would actually put in decent radios in their vehicles. You can check it out again at our website, realcountry1430.com. Invite you to stop at our booth as well over the weekend. We're in Building C here on the Northern Wisconsin State Fairgrounds. Tell us why you listen. You can visit whyilisten.com. We'll have that at our booth, and you can go into a drawing for $500. Tell us, why do you listen? Why do you listen to the radio? You can win that $500 from the National Association of Farm Broadcasting.
Alexa, you gotta smile. Alexa, you gotta smile.
Yep, got to smile. That's right. Always good to smile to the judge. Reminder that we will save our video stream on our YouTube channel at Durand Broadcasting, WRDN. This will be saved. It takes about 24 hours for it to be saved to the channel. Have to make sure that there's no copyright violations. Not sure there's a copyright on a swine show, but YouTube has to do that. So this today's livestock show, the swine show, should be on the YouTube channel by tomorrow afternoon. Beginning of our summer fair season. Next week it's the Wabasha County Fair, followed by the Dunn County Fair in Menominee, the Buffalo County Fair, Buffalo-Pepin County Fair in Mondovi, and then the Pierce County Fair in Ellsworth. And we'll have coverage of shows from all of those fairs coming up, including their livestock auctions as well. Busy 6 weeks ahead for yours truly, because we also have Wisconsin's Farm Technology Days next week. We'll be down there for that. Heading down on Tuesday, early Tuesday morning. Down to our final three.
Interesting class, a lot of variation in their type and kind to go from one end to the other in this class. Maybe not as consistent of a group maybe as we've seen earlier, but you're getting to some heavy weights here. Again, to me, composition is going to be important. This isn't, as they get to the size, sometimes they don't hold together in terms of muscle and stretching, and they lose a little bit of their flair. And so that kind of hurts some of those bears in the middle of the class. They're just getting a little rounder in their top and they're playing, lose some of their composition. It's a tough class. There's a lot of variation. I like to kind of put all three of these together, and I think you can come up with a great hog if you put it all together, because I'm sacrificing a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and use the thin velvet barrel to start the class. Young man, you're going to start the class. Now, I'd like to, I've been first to admit this guy's, could be a little leaner. And there's some other barrels that have been in some other classes that have worked their way down because of the competition was a little different. But I think all in all, he's the best structured hog. He's really elevated. He showed really well. It kind of helps him show off that good length of body that he has. He's got a good top in him, but he just kind of runs out of gas just a little bit down in the lower portion of his stifle region. I just like to see a little bit more true and true flair there, but that's a good kind of hog to start the class. Kind of that calico bear over there, if we could get him out going, he kind of brooded too much probably, and it doesn't show off. That's the heaviest muscle hog in the class. He is the heavy bone one. Boy, if that pig could just get out and grab another gear and just move, I think he could give that other pig a run. He's looking better now just walking the fence. A lot of times he was just kind of standing out in the middle, kind of rooting. Just get that pig moving a little bit because you got a good barrel, young man. He's really stout, heavy bone, heavy muscle, but he kind of gets a little bit stoved up in his lip a little bit. Sometimes he doesn't want to get out and reach and grab ground, but I love that barrel's hip. He's got one of the big hips of any barrel we've seen all day. It's a stout barrel. He needs to be a little looser. The barrel here that comes in third, he's a little freer moving, but at the same time, he's not as heavy bone as the top two hogs. He's not as muscular as the top two hogs, so the velvet barrel just sits nicely in third. Just not enough power in him to kind of surpass the other two, unfortunately. But that's a good structured hog, and the reason he got third is because he's good on his feet and legs. The long body gilt here just gets a little twisty off both ends. He kind of wants to tangle up those hind legs just a little bit and not just really be true and sound behind. She's got plenty of muscle expression. She'll actually look pretty nice on the harvest data because she's lean and got some muscle. Her feet and legs kind of hurt her just a little bit in this class. We move down the line. We can let those two out next. These are kind of different styles, kind of where you lay your priorities. The young man coming out next with the green shirt, his barrel's heavier muscled and wider. The young man here, the taller young man, his barrel's leaner and longer, so there's some trade-offs there. I just went ahead and used the young man that had a little more width and power in his barrel than the taller, longer, kind of leaner barrel that needed to be wider. Then the Duroc barrel comes here next. Good heavy structure, heavy duty kind of hog, deep in his forward shape, needs a little more hip and a little more muscle expression. And then we finish with a couple barrels again that got some length and got some extension, but they just get a little flatter muscle relative to those that beat them in this class. Congratulations, guys.
market class number 12. First blue goes to Blake Sikora, second blue goes to Nate Gully. Let's give them a round of applause. Our last market class is market class number 13. This has hogs ranging from 324 to a whopping 366 pounds.
Wow. 366. All right. Wow. The big boys and girls are coming out now. All right. Here we go. Final class before it's time for the championship run.
Okay. The following individuals should bring their animals that are first blues from the market class when I call them. So for market class number 2, Kennedy Kunai should be bringing her animal. Market class number 3, Ben Wicken should be bringing his animal. Market class number 4, Aubrey King should be bringing her animal. Market class number 5, Sam Steffek should be bringing his animal. Market class number 6, Aubrey King should be bringing her animal. Market class number 7, Wyatt Wellner should be bringing his animal. Market class number 8, Owen King should be bringing his animal. Market class number 9, Hunter Hilger should be bringing his animal. Market class number 10, Sam Steffes should be bringing his animal. Market class number 11, Brianna Freed should be bringing her animal. And market class number 12, Blake Sikora should be bringing his animal.
Thank you. Oh, we're getting ready for the judge here in this.
As we finish here with the last class of the heavier weight hogs here, you look at them though, you think that some of these are, 320 maybe? I can't remember what they told me, but from a composition standpoint, they're pretty lean. You look at all of them, relatively speaking, they stay lean to this heavy weight. You can't really, it's too bad they're too big, but you don't want to discredit the fact that they do grow well. They had some performance, and in the real world of production hogs, a big finishing force, you want growth. That's the number one thing that determines profit. So I don't want to discount them too much because they get grow real well, and some of them stay relatively lean to that weight. I think there's a clear-cut winner. In fact, there's a bear on here that it would have been kind of neat to see back in 275, and that's the young man's black and white bear. You're going to win this class, young man. Moving back to 285, 290, it would be kind of neat to see what that guy looks like. Because he looks like a lot of our class winners. He runs uphill, he's tall-fronted, he's really level out to his hip, he's got a good shape to his top. He actually stayed pretty lean to this extra weight. So, that's a good kind of hog. In fact, there's a lot of that size hog going through kill plants right now. Kind of trying to get some value out of lower cost, relatively cheaper corn than we've seen here in the past. So that's not a bad hog, that got to that weight. Next is going to be the spotted bear over there. That bear is going to be second. I'd like to see him a little bit cleaner to his lower 1/3. But boy, he's stout. He's got a bold shoulder and a really bold rib cage in him. He's got a big hip in him. He's a little more masculine and rugged than the two white hogs that conclude. Next is going to be the barrel, and then we're going to conclude with the gilt. So the young man in the corner will be third. He's got a little more muscle in his pig than the young lady's gilt does. The gilt's a little bit leaner, and so that's a nice pair. It doesn't have quite that extra muscle. So nice way to conclude the classes. Congratulations to the winners.
Time for the championship drive here coming up next. As we name our grand and reserve champions.
For our market class number 13, our last class, Nathan Gully received our first blue, and Jada Ryba received the second blue. So up, let's give them a round of applause. We are now entering our champion class, so as you can see, all of our first blues will be making their way to the show ring here quite shortly, and we'll announce the results here soon. So when I call your name, you will come out of the show. Okay. So when I call your name, will the person with the first blue come out of the will bring their pig into the showroom? Kennedy Kunai. So Kennedy Kunai with a hog weighing 233 pounds. Ben Wicken with a hog weighing 251 pounds. And that's class 3. Market class number 4, Aubrey King with a hog weighing 258 pounds. Market class number 5, Sam Steffes with a hog weighing 267 pounds. Class 6, Aubrey King with a market hog weighing 272 pounds. Class number 7, Wyatt Wellner with a market hog weighing 277 pounds. Market class number 8, Owen King with a hog weighing 284 pounds. Market class number 9, Hunter Hilger with a hog weighing 295 pounds. Market class number 10, Sam Steffes with a hog weighing 300 pounds. Market class number 11, Brianna Freed with a hog weighing 305 pounds. And market class number 12, Blake Sikora with a hog weighing 306 pounds.
Again, thank you to our sponsors, including Synergy Co-op, Compeer Financial, Bluff Country Feed and Seed, O'Galley Cheese Factory, Numbers R Us, Pierce Pepin Cooperative Services, 24/7 and West Wisconsin Telecom, Provisions Health of Durand, Chippewa Valley Energy, and Wisconsin Credit Union. Please thank all of our sponsors for their support of our live streaming coverage from the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. Give our sponsors a call, drop them an email, visit their business and tell them thank you for supporting our live stream broadcast. Without their help, we wouldn't be here today. So please thank them for their support. And we'll be back tomorrow, 8 o'clock with the Sheep Show tomorrow from the Custer Coliseum. And then we'll have the Beef Show as well. That at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. As the Northern Wisconsin State Fair gets underway in earnest here at the Northern Wisconsin State Fairgrounds in Chippewa Falls over the course of the next few days as well. Don't forget to stop by our booth, the WRGN booth. We're in Building C, and we'll help you out to fill out a survey that we're doing. Why I listen? Why do you listen to radio? Why do you use radio? We want to know, and we will go into a drawing for $500, compliments of the National Association of Farm Broadcasting. So visit our booth. We'll help you fill out the survey. We know you're not going to get an email or a marketing.
If you have a second blue for any of the market classes, please have your animal ready. We will call your name and we will be bringing you back out for the reserve champion. We would also like to take this time to recognize some of the sponsors of the banners that are around the Coliseum and Soakups Market, JS Reservice, Touch of Home Adult Family Care, LLC, Dean Associates, ASM Farms of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, Royal Credit Union, Fireworks Liquidators, and Security Financial Bank, Synergy Cooperative, Dirk's Farms Beef, Security Bank, H&R Electric, Keneally Dairy Farm, Advantage Door, W.S. Darley and Company, the YMCA, and Close Farms. Let's give them a round of applause for sponsoring.
This is for grand champion.
Now, not to make you folks feel guilty if you don't, but you should really stick around for the showmanship show that'll be coming up next.
Well, congratulations to all the class-winning market hogs we had out here. Let's give them a nice round of applause and show our appreciation. I'm really proud of just the quality that we have. You know, when you go judge fairs, sometimes you wonder how it's going to be, but boy, this is incredible. But what a nice place to judge. First of all, this facility, the space of the ring, the lighting's really nice. So it's really an awesome place to just study and evaluate pigs. The footing's real good. I think the level of shavings, whoever made that decision is about right. Sometimes you can get shavings too deep where the pigs kind of have a hard time settling in. But this is about perfect, and the holding pins are really nice over there. And let's thank our ring help. The guys on the boards, you can't do a show without the guys on the boards. And then all the people helping in the back. I forgot your name, guy in the purple shirt. He said, let's give him a nice round. I forgot your name. Steve. Let's give him a nice round of applause. Without him, we don't have a show on the back. Because he's got the hardest job. He's got to yell sometimes at people, and he's got to make sure they come up to the ring. And we never waited on any pigs. We never waited much, and we kept this show going snappy. This is a really good set of arrows and gilts, people. I don't know, some of you may not go to a lot of hog shows, but I'll take my word for it. These are really high-quality hogs, and what really makes it fun is you get a good hog, and then you manage it right at home. You work with skin and hair. You wash it. You keep the flies off it. You feed it right. You do everything you can at home to get these hogs dialed in, and then you feed them. And there's a lot of feeding. Feeding a pig is almost a skill. It's an art. We feed barrels in the summer at our house, and there's a lot of different things that are involved with feeding pigs. And you look around, these pigs have been fed extremely well to get them to a fresh, clean kind of look about them. And then the showmanship. Showmanship's vital. You know, now in this current state of the day we are in the show pig world, showmanship is really huge. Because you can show one up and you can show one down really, really easy. And you think that the judges aren't supposed to be looking at that, and really they shouldn't. But at the same time, if you're showing them good and they're looking better because of it, the judge is going to see that and they're going to notice your pig a little bit more. So you look around the ring, these kids are just making nice passes, and we still have showmanship left. But I've been judging your showmanship all day, everybody. So hopefully you remember that when we get into showmanship. But the showmanship's been really good, and the passes the kids are making allow me as a judge to get good looks at their pigs. And that's number one. Are they allowing me to get good looks at their pigs? Because they're out here competing for a championship banner. This is a sport. I mean, you get in other parts of the United States, kids are not playing softball. They're not playing Little League baseball. They're not doing summer volleyball. They're getting a barn full of pigs, and that's what they're doing. That's their sport. And that's what's making this pig show thing so tough. It's so competitive. It's so strong with these shows. And so, congratulations, guys. I've been really impressed with the hogs. I think our class winners come out here, and you can see what I wanted today. I wanted hogs that moved good. I wanted hogs that had nice shapes and true and honest shapes to their tops, freshness in their look. And then it is a show, so we want a little pizzazz, we want a little fanciness, and all that goes with that. So congratulations. I'm going to go out and I'm going to slap the champion out here. I do think, to me personally, just to be really honest, I think we had Secretariat out here, and I think all the other horses are trying to keep up. There's one that's going to win the Belmont here by 32 lengths, because this one is is one that I love to have in my barn at home, getting ready for the Minnesota State Fair, because this one just brings all of it together to the next level. So congratulations, all of those slap for champion pigs.
We need Gabe Domes to bring his market animal from class 11 out to the show ring. And our champion was Brianna Freed. Let's give her a round of applause.
Congratulations to Brianna Bree, the grand champion. We'll now have our reserve champion.
I think for reserve, it gets really close. To me, that champion hog, you know, when you judge shows, sometimes an animal comes in the ring. I've had it before, and the hair on my neck kind of stood up a little bit. When that champion gilt walked in the ring, the hair on my neck stood up a little bit. So I kind of knew that that one was kind of special today. Reserve gets really close because there's a lot of good things out here that are still in contention. You know, just talk about this gilt that comes out second. That was a good gilt that was in a really hard class. But I love the balance and the levelness of that gilt. I like to just bust her open just a little bit, right out of her pins and her hip, just to make her come to the forefront a little bit easier. But she's in contention. Another one that's in contention is the young man in the red shirt. he's in contention for reserve because that hog's really square, real wide, a little plainer neck probably, a little bit coarser fronted, but that's a good hog. The young lady that won our first class with the judge with the little ring sour there, that's a really shapely one of the best presented hogs in terms of skin and hair that we've had all day. That hog gets a little bit tight wound out through her hip and then she goes behind just like to level her out. So there's a lot of hogs out here in contention. I think the one that most looks like the champion in terms of sound, functional, stout, productive, and really gets around the ring extremely well. Young man over there, you're going to be reserve champion.
Our reserve champion goes to Sam Steffes. Let's give him a round of applause. Okay, coming up next, we're gonna take about a 5-minute break before we start with our showmanship. We will start with our Heat 1. So I'm going to go and let you know for Heat 1 for beginner showmanship.
As we take a break here and get ready for the showmanship, we are going to step away again. We hope you enjoyed today's hog show from the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. Again, thank you to the Northern Wisconsin State Fair, along with Elsivia Co-op, Security Financial Bank, Sundstrom & Company, Prime Realty, Adams Super Service, N-Tech, Dunn Energy, Synergy Co-op, Compeer Financial, Bluff Country Feed and Seed, O'Galley Cheese Factory, Numbers R Us, Pierce Pepin Cooperative Services, 24/7 and West Wisconsin Telecom, Provisions, Health of Durand, Chippewa Valley Energy, and Wisconsin Credit Union. We will return to the Custer Coliseum tomorrow morning for the Northern Wisconsin State Fair Sheep Show. So until then, I'm Brian